In today's video, we're talking to no other than Kanan Harper, CEO of Grown Man Enterprises and the author of When Your Associate Sacrifices, Loyalty Has No Gray Areas, and the Detroit Underworld. Hey, so before we get started, please do me a favor, help us reach 1,000 subscribers when we drop new videos. And without further ado, let's jump right into it, all right? So, my man, I got my man on the line, on the video, my guy, the dude that came out and changed the game, Mr. Kanan Harper. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? What's happening with you?
Oh, man, you know, can't call it cooling. You like that right there, though, right? OHIO.
Yeah, let's not start the show off bad.
You know, we just gonna say Big Ten champions the last 3 or 4 years, but we ain't gonna harp on that too much. You know what I'm saying? but as we were just talking before we got this party started, the basketball team is gonna be solid.
Oh, definitely. Juwan got he gonna restore some order. We gonna the big, blue gonna represent in something now.
Now, hey, you know what? They just won. Didn't they just win? They just won something. Hockey? I think they won the hockey. I think they won the hockey national championship. But yeah, man. So, man, I appreciate you being on. This is open for discussion. So we just gonna chop it up, man. We just gonna have a good time, and then we gonna get it rolling. So I know that you have some things that you have going on. You done had some speaking engagements over the last, month or so. Talk to me about some of the stuff you've been doing in the community as far as the message that you're trying to bring. What's some of the things that you got going on? Some of the speaking events and some of the things you got a chance to tell the community about your story.
Well, for the most part, I try to get out there and let people know I'm not bashful when it comes to talking about my journey. So I try to highlight those pitfalls first and foremost, slightly glorified, which draws the younger crowd in, and then go ahead and beat them all the way down with the real reality, that decade locked up. That's what come from it, burying people that you really couldn't even be there to pay your respects to because of this lifestyle. So that's what I got going on, talking to the tomorrow I should be speaking. I'll be speaking at the Hotel Louisville, and that crowd is talking about that along those lines of taking the streets back, getting these kids some activity, that can get them so they don't have so much idle time.
Some resources, some things so that they don't have that idle time.
Right.
I'm definitely gonna try to be at that tomorrow. So for those that don't know about your story, won't you just give people a little insight into why you talk about the things that you talk about?
Well, because the influences that I used to set, not on purpose, but they're examples that's being set. Because it's a lifestyle that looks good and is detrimental, and it's important for me to share that and be an open book with it, because I was pretty much an open book when you saw the type of clothes that I wore, when you saw the kind of cars that I was driving. So I need to be, open with you about those scars that came from that game, and that's why I'm like that, because I feel actually I owe it to the youth.
Right. So what are the things that you see a lot of young people, not even young people, you know what I mean? Like that game is still out there and everybody's still doing it. What is one of the major things that if you were talking to a young you, what would you tell a young you who was already heading in that direction to into that direction? What would you try to say to try to convince them that that's the wrong to a younger you? What would you say?
I'd probably try to use kids, is in there to make them understand. As first and foremost, is this something that you want your son doing? And the first thing is going to be for any sane person is going to be no.
Right.
So right there, you know that what you're doing is wrong. Right. So why not? Is this all that you're limited to? And just a younger me, because I would have to play to my arrogance. I was conceited when I was young. So I have to try to play to that. And so is that the only way that you can get what you want? You're not smart enough to get it? There's other avenues. You have choices. Look at the choices that you have. You've been accepted to Tennessee State University. Why not? Why did you decide not to go? Why won't you go? And though I guess that's where I would start at. To try, I would have to try to use that for me, because everybody's journey is so different, and we don't know we don't know the things that started you on whatever course it was that you eventually went on. And for me, I just know that how I was led. Right.
So in that game, what did it cost you? What did it end up putting you at? What did it cost you? Being in that game?
My time with my kids first and foremost. Losing those years of my life was one thing, but to lose the years of theirs as well, that's painful.
Wow. That's profound right there.
Yeah, and that's what happens. In the short time, and this, how long Tayshawn's been with me. And I look back on pictures just in that little short time, in the change that has gone on in 2.5 years. So imagine how much it's been over the course of a decade.
Right.
That more than anything, that and the closeness of my family, it was like growing up. Me, my mother, my brother, my grandparents, and my aunt. We was just a core right there. This is before my little sister came along. We didn't think she was gonna come. And yeah, Karika came late. But then I looked up, and while I was gone, my grandmother passed. Then my brother passed. Then my grandfather passed. This in less than 2 years span while I'm gone. And I had to wear this, and I didn't see no obituaries, anything, because I couldn't deal with that. I had a different mental task that I had to deal with. Right. So, you lose those types of things, and
so in the grand scheme of things, what you're saying is it ain't worth it.
No.
In the grand scheme of things, it ain't worth it. Now, so you almost have you have a rags to, not rags to riches, but a hardcore transition. So what was life like when you transitioned out? When you first got out, what was some of the things that you thought? And I want to kind of propose this to, for those who may know somebody that's transitioning out, or somebody who's transitioned out and trying to find their way. What was it that kept you from being a repeat offender?
You mean a repeat offender? Because I was,
a repeat.
Yeah. I guess it's
what changed?
Well, I got to go back to my son. When I looked up, and my oldest son went from honor student to getting in trouble. And that some of that, a lot of that lies on me, because my absence. Mm-hmm. And more so than any of my kids, he suffered because I'm gone, I'm there, I'm gone. So I have been removed so many times from him. So that kind of trauma to a child's mind, and I'm able to understand that I, played a role in that. Mm-hmm. I knew at that moment, okay, that can't be no more. I can't do that one no more. Right. I can't lead them. And I come home and I got a chance with my youngest son. My oldest son, he's finishing up the mess that he found himself in.
Right.
So that was the thing that was an eye opener for me to let me know, no, you gotta do something else.
Gotta do something different. So when you got out, we met around that time when you were transitioning out, and I noticed that you had a crazy work ethic. That work ethic transitioned into everything that you were doing. So what are some of the things that you accomplished immediately out of getting out in such a short period of time? What are some of the things that you did? Let's talk about you had a lifestyle, it produced something, it cost you something. And then after you got out, it actually kept producing, but it wasn't producing what it produced when you went in. Right. So let's talk about some of those things that some of the things that it's produced now, because you are currently a CEO, you're currently an author, you're currently a speaker, you're currently an active dad. So what are some of the things that, let's talk about those things that the good fruit that was produced from the seeds that was sown out of that.
I learned to be more patient with in raising my son, mm-hmm. because growing up, I grew up in the house. Mama, I love her to death, but Mama wasn't for no games. When the hand come down, the hand coming down heavy, as it does in most homes of our community.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I know that doesn't work. I've been in too many prisons, sitting around kicking it with dudes in prison. Us talking about how our mamas used to beat our ass.
Right.
But so right. I know this don't work.
Right. For sure.
Yeah. So the thing for me was, I learned, don't tower over the kids when you're disciplined. We look like giants. That's intimidating. Come down to size. So I learned patience. I learned that I am so flawed that my arrogance blinded me to these flaws that I had. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing, because I wouldn't have gotten there if I hadn't felt the need to strip myself bare, because I needed to get to understand them. How is it that you're spending all your life in the joint when you have so much more promise? And see, that's that tapping into that pride aspect for me. Mm-hmm. My pride won't allow me to just believe I gotta sell heroin and cocaine to people to get what I want. That's a good thing that came from it.
So you currently have 4 books out?
Yeah.
Yep. Run down some of those titles. Let's kind of talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're an author, you're an accomplished author. You know what I mean? You got a clothing line. You're doing big things, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get these books out here.
This one here is When Your Associates Are More Dangerous Than You.
Okay.
I wrote this book during my federal bit. While I was in the federal joint, I wrote this book. And the crazy thing is, when the proofs came in for this book was the night I got raided by the Southern Indiana Drug Task Force on another case. I won that one. Okay. But was that book was written with the mindset that got me the 40-year sentence that I got. Because the dude in there, he come home from the joint and he get money. And that's what I planned to do when I wrote that book. That's what I did. And I got the 40 years also that come with it. So after that one, I began to evolve a little bit. So we had Necessary Sacrifice. This one points a Black father in a positive light who makes the sacrifices that's necessary to take care of his daughter. And he walks away from a life, but he does what we see Black women doing every day. And I just needed something positive for Black men.
I'm with that. Just a side note, I was raised by a single dad in the 80s, so I dig it. For real.
Yeah, see, and that's a rarity, unfortunately.
Especially in the 80s.
Especially in the 80s when they were taking all the fathers.
For sure.
But that's a different story.
Yeah, I'll do my own discussion and interview myself and talk about that thing. But yeah, that's a dope book. I think. Yeah. So now, what else we got?
We got Loyalty Has No Gray Areas. Probably my favorite. Loyalty Has No Gray Areas. I needed to touch on a lot of. I wanted to touch on a lot of stereotypes. I wanted to address a lot of factual things, and I wanted to show people that opposites. You know, the main character, a Black dude from the hood, resisted the path of least resistance, went to the University of Georgia, got his law degree, ended up marrying a white woman, Republican from Texas, from a racist family in Texas. Okay. And they mess around and link up.
Okay.
But through their union, it's able the racist people are able to see certain things, just as he's able to see certain things as well from stereotypes that we have, and we draw our stereotypes because the way we're perceived already.
Right.
You know, but that's my favorite. And lastly, Diary of Detroit's Underworld. This is by me and my late brother. And when I started the book I was writing, this book started because I was having some thoughts. I was going through some things, thinking about things I had done in the streets. And it's a lot of things from the way I was moving. There's things I can't talk about. And I sprinkled things throughout my writing. But something in particular struck me one night. And I got up and I just, in the middle of the night, little bull BS light that you could clip on the edge of the bunk. I had that on and I just started writing. And my brother, and then as going through some stuff one day, paperwork, I run across some stuff. My brother had sent me a book he had started. And I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. And I just snatched that and incorporated it with my story so I could have something by both of us.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that about that last book. Yeah. About that book. That's dope. Yeah. That's dope. So out of that, you know what I'm saying? You got 4 books. You got some grown man clothing line. You got a grown man clothing line.
We got the nice stuff for the ladies. We got
merch.
Sultry for the ladies.
You know what I'm saying? I wish I had a shirt on or something that I could be. I wish I ain't got no merch on. I ain't got no shirt that I can, that I can be up there advertising. I see you.
Black Pastor Wealth.
I don't have no merch.
I know. We're going to change that. We're going to change that.
All I'm saying is, I can, this segment sponsored by Grown Man Clothing Line, Grown Man Entertainment, everything.
We're going to change that.
Yeah, I need some merch. So honestly, like you went from serving a 40-year bid, right?
Yeah.
40 years, yo.
Yeah, that's what that man said to me in the courtroom. He says,
I can only imagine how your heart dropped out. Just out of your body. But something happened. Some way something happened and something changed and you didn't do 40, right?
Right. They have.
If you was doing 40, we wouldn't be.
I'd still be gone. Yeah, I'd still be in there. Doing 40
for sure.
Things happen.
things happen. We just don't know how that works.
We cannot explain the unexplainable.
We just can't explain nothing. But so now you came out, you got established. Man, I remember watching you. I just watched you. I watched you clean, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I could appreciate about your story, and I think a lot of people don't know, and we probably didn't touch on, but I'm gonna bring it up, is you wasn't too proud to work for an honest dollar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, it wasn't paying you a lot of bread. It
$11 an hour.
But and in that $11 an hour, the way that you approached that job, the way that you came in, the way that you did things, I walked up to you and said, man, look, I said, dang, I see you cleaning that wall. I said, somebody's always watching you.
I remember that.
I said, somebody's always watching you. And so your work ethic, the way that you approach things, the way that you came home, got your license immediately, start grinding, trying to put yourself in a better position so that you would not be a repeat offender.
Right.
Because
exactly.
because the picture or the vision that you have for the second part of your life was bigger. There was something driving you, a driving force that was bigger, and it showed up in your work ethic, and it's showing up now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are doing big things. You got speaking engagements. You are encouraging young people. You are dropping seeds on cats who's out in the street who think that lifestyle is where it's at. You're starting to sit at tables. People starting to invite you in. Your message is starting to get out. And I remember one of the first things that we talked about when we sat down was getting your message out.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I wanted to tell my story. Now, miraculously, the doors just open.
Yeah, things happen. You know how that is.
We're gonna trace that back to the source one day.
Well, one thing for sure, I know people that know people in high places.
Hey, for sure. Hey, somebody knows somebody that knows somebody. Get next to somebody that knows something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so man, like it's really exciting for me to see you on this journey. To see you come home and I didn't know you until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? 2 years ago. So yeah, man.
2.5 years ago, shortly after I got home. Because I got I came home in December 2018 and I was working at Cassie in December 2018.
Yeah, and that's what so man, so to see all the things that you've accomplished since you've been out and your drive and your hunger, man, that could be the path that somebody that sees this
repeat offenders.
Okay. Yeah.
People getting out, going back in, and that's what it is, recidivism. I'm a recidivist. And yeah, I'm a recidivist. And it's just it's so easy for it to happen if you don't get yourself right, if you don't start working on that while you gone. That's what my book, My Science to Reentry, that I'm writing now. That's what that's about.
Okay.
For guys, when you coming home and understand why you there, you got to start the work there. It's too much going on out here. You can't get out here and start trying to work on yourself. You got to start back then. And trust me, I know. I've seen the transition. We had cell phones before I left and things like that, but stuff wasn't on the level that it is now.
Right.
So anybody that's been gone 5 years or more, well, the way technology is moving now, 2-3 years or more, when you come home, it's a learning curve on everything. Right. So that, man.
So, but I think a lot of like you becoming a voice to try to say, yo, you don't have to be that repeat dude. You don't. You just have to humble yourself and not let your pride and your ego blind you so that you can go out and take a 10 or 12, a $14, $15 job an hour so that you can provide an honest wage, an honest living, so that you can show when you show up to your courts that you've accomplished some things. And I can really say that like you accomplished some things, man. And I'm like super proud of to see your grind, to see your hustle, and to see you making moves like Jagger. So, but now we're gonna shift a little bit. I'm gonna spend a little time, just a very, very little time. We just gonna talk about, you have two sons, you have a younger son, you have a daughter. And I know you're trying to be an example for everybody in your circle and everything. So what's one of the things that you look at your younger son at and say, I wish he just had this part of me, which will put him in a different space? That's tough, I know. Like the grit part, like the hard part, you know what I mean? Like the hustle part, the grind part.
Yeah, I would want him to have that dog, so to speak. And because other than that, we're about like the same way at that age. Right. Mild kids. Because of where I grew up, I had dabbled in some things I had no business dabbling in, but it wasn't a lifestyle that I was just really gravitating to. But my youngest son, he's Tayshawn just so laid back, and I wish he had that dog when he come to that, them sports. That's it.
Right. So we talk about that, and I had that same thing with Isaiah. Like, man, I just need to just take you and strap you and drag you on this 90-proof sandpaper and get you and get your butt scarred up. I ain't trying to smooth the edges off. I need these edges rough. You know what I mean? I need some rough edges. So I definitely understand. So this next segment is brought to you by 9 Round. And so I'm gonna show you a video, right?
Okay.
I ain't gonna show the whole video. I'm just gonna show a piece of the video, about probably 5 or 6 seconds of this video. And this this segment is called "What Would Your Mama Do?" Now, let me explain that, because you probably couldn't hear the volume on that. Okay?
I could. The little boy didn't, yeah. He didn't want to get up or nothing.
Right. Okay. In the store.
Right.
With people around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what would your mama do?
Oh, it's 3 things that's taking place all at the same time. I'm being yanked up. I'm being hit while she's cussing, telling me what I bet not be doing. All 3 of those things are going on at the same time.
So basically, you knew better.
Oh, I wouldn't have been acting like that. Not at that age. I knew better by that time.
Oh, those are hands, definitely. So, if your child drops on the floor and do that, what's your response?
If it's if Tayshawn did that, I'd probably snatch him up real quick and just pull him to me. But I ain't gonna start throwing hands.
Right.
I got enough restraint, but he gonna understand.
There used to be cell phones out there now.
Yeah, you gotta be careful now.
The people be showing up at your crib trying to take your child. I did Isaiah fell out at Walmart and tried to pull that foolishness on me. I just kept walking.
Did you?
Yeah, I just kept walking. Left him. And then when he ran over to me, when he seen that I wasn't playing and I was gonna leave him, he ran over to me. And when he got over to me, that's when I snatched him up. And I grabbed him. I was like, I will hurt you, nigga. You do that.
Yeah.
Take you out this piece.
Yeah.
And he ain't fell out. He ain't fell out there. He ain't fell out no more.
Yeah, no more problems.
Yeah, now I ain't gonna say that. Now,
Well, yeah, not like that though.
he
Yeah,
became a teenager, so yeah,
that's a whole nother. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a line that was crossed, and then I just had to just show up from east side of Indianapolis. That's all. That too hardcore.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So here we go. This is another little segment that I do. It's called.
What we gonna do right here is go back.
Look at LL.
Way back. Back into time. Back in the day.
Back down memory lane.
Back down memory lane. All right. 1993.
Mm-hmm.
What was popping in 93? What was popping for you in 93? What was bumping in your cassette headphones, your Sony headset, your tape deck? What was bumping?
Let's
93.
see. In 93, I was bumping that to Cal.
Okay.
I think, was that out yet?
Oh,
The
that's
Meth?
talking about Meth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out a little bit. No,
Afterward.
Yeah, it was around that time.
Wu-Tang and that time. Yeah, we was bumping that Wu.
Yeah.
Let me see. 93. What?
93.
Wow.
I know you
What
was
else
bumping
going on?
Tupac, I Get Around.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we definitely listened to that.
Lords of the Underground. Was you bumping the Lords of the Underground?
I didn't really mess with LONS.
So were you a East Coast dude or a West Coast dude?
Oh, definitely East.
Okay.
But
okay.
I'm a picky rap listener.
Okay. So you was bumping the Wu-Tang, the 36 Chambers. You was bumping Outkast?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, hey,
Southern
Ball.
Playalistic? Yeah.
Oh, come on. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was 93. So
was Naughty by Nature out? That was 93, wasn't it?
93.
Around there.
What OPP? Naughty? Was that?
I think they had dropped some other stuff by then. They was on to Hip Hop Hooray and stuff, I believe, by then.
Yeah. I think Hip Hop Hooray had dropped about that time.
Oh wait, definitely Snoop.
Oh yeah,
Doggy Style.
The Doggy Style and the Chronic album.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Snoop. That Doggy Style was definitely the best thing that had dropped.
Oh yeah, it
wasn't even close. Nothing was messing with that.
The G thing, Dre's joint was dope too.
Yeah, but see, Dre dropped in 92 the year before.
He did.
Snoop.
Yep.
Because he was getting Snoop ready to come out. Remember, because Snoop and them was all on the Chronic.
Deep Cover. He did Deep Cover. And
yeah, he did that. Yeah.
And then he dropped his joint, and then he dropped Snoop joint.
Snoop, yeah.
Okay. So were you into movies or anything like that?
Yeah.
What you know what the number one grossing movie was
in 93?
Yeah.
No, I definitely don't know that.
You don't know what the number one grossing movie was in 93?
Tell me somebody that was in it.
Dang, I can't tell you. I can't even remember his name. Jurassic Park. I'm just gonna give it to you.
Oh, it was Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know who won the?
I ain't never seen that.
You ain't never seen it?
No.
Oh man, if you into dinosaurs, then you know. All right, here's an easy one.
Okay.
Real easy. Who won the NBA championship in 93?
The Bulls.
Easy work. You know,
the
who did they
Bulls.
beat? Who they beat?
In 93, it was Phoenix. Yeah, it was Phoenix. In 93, Barkley won the MVP that year.
Yeah, look at you. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, see, I used to like the NBA back then. See, when it was hooping. See, I liked it then.
Hooping.
Yeah, when it was real hooping, not this stuff now. But back then, oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I remember that.
93 was a good year.
I graduated that year.
Yeah, hey, I was already off in college. Actually, 93, You know, they have Freaknik in Atlanta, so
Yeah.
that's like Vegas. Freaknik in 93 stays at Freaknik in 93. So yeah, we gonna just put a pin right there on that one.
Yeah.
But hey, if y'all want to follow my man, I really appreciate you jumping on. If y'all want to follow my man, jump on his IG right here. Y'all can hit him up, follow him. He got some really good content. He talks about some things, empowerment stuff. He's doing some really dope, awesome stuff. Check out his website right here. Go ahead and bookmark that. Get his books from Amazon. You can get, I'm pretty sure he has access to his clothing line on there as well. If you want him to speak, you know, reach out to him. He has real good content. I want y'all to follow him, follow all his stuff, join all his communities, be a voice in his community, and follow him and do all that good stuff. Also, I want y'all to jump on, hit the like and subscribe button here on the YouTube channel, so we can keep growing. Also, leave some comments. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask some questions, or what is some things that you want to hear or want to see, or some people that you think I should interview, or some industries that you should think I should try to get into because this is not about me. This is about me building a community so that we can put out content that's impactful and that's changing people's lives. And so, man, you got anything you want to say to the people before we bounce?
Well, one thing I want the people to know is when they tune into your show and they get to see you, they get to see an authentic person that is just genuine. And everything that you've talked about today, as far as the progress, you have been instrumental in helping me move forward, you know, in this journey that I've been making. And I appreciate it. I see with you, it's about action. It's not words. You're not a hollow individual. And I appreciate that. I appreciate anybody who's genuine. And I thank you for everything you've been doing for me and you continue to do.
Word up, man. You know, I appreciate you too. With that, man, I thank you for tuning in to Open for Discussion. You've been on with my man, Kanan Harper, the CEO from Breaking Bad. He went from bad, he broke the cycle. Now he's out here running the multi-million-dollar empire that he's establishing and everything, and doing these big things. Again, follow him on all his content, get with him, join his communities. And with that, I'm out. Peace.